morning. It is Monday, December 11th, 2023, and it's a long time for a reality check. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and I am living in the light by documenting not only my weight loss journey, but now my new healthy lifestyle. I started my weight loss journey back in June of 2022, and in that time I have lost more than 150 pounds. I have recorded reality checks along the way, and I'm now in what's called the maintenance phase. Basically, this is life. I have reached my weight loss goal. I'm actually below my weight loss goal, and now I am just living my life. I am making healthy choices, and I'm going to continue to share reality checks with you to let you know my process, how things are going. And I did take a little bit of a hiatus for a few weeks. I know some of you have reached out and wondered if I'm coming back and what's going on. Things are going great, and I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But if you like to hear healthy recipes, if you like to hear about weight loss success, tips, tricks, ideas, thoughts, encouragement, support, then this is the channel for you. So I'd love it if you would subscribe. If you would give this video a thumbs up, it really does help me. It supports me. I don't do this for a living, but I do make a little bit off of my YouTube videos. So when people when they comment, that really does help my channel. And I love to share recipes, healthy recipes, and I look forward to sharing some more with those with you guys coming up soon. As I said, I took a little breather, and I am putting together some more ideas so that I can bring you some more recipes, some more ideas, and some more encouragement. As I said, I have completed my weight loss journey. I had a goal of losing 153 pounds. I reached that goal. I really wanted to be a size 10, 12, which is exactly where I am right now. I don't have a desire to be a size 6. I don't have a desire to weigh 125 pounds. I will never weigh 125. It was never my goal. I've said before, I don't share my actual weight with people on social media, but I will tell you that I've lost 160 pounds is what I've ended up losing. Over the last 5 weeks, I've been in maintenance for 5 weeks. And in that time, since I started the maintenance, I've lost another 3 pounds, about an inch I've lost. Starting to work on some toning, adding some more movement into my day, just trying to figure out what that looks like. I've never been a huge exercise person. It just is not, it doesn't speak to my heart. And mentally, emotionally, it's hard for me. I don't necessarily enjoy it. So I'm learning to walk, take walks. That seems to work for me. The idea of going into a gym and lifting weights and stuff like that has zero appeal to me. And I feel as if I were to start something like that, it's not something that I would stick with. Maybe you've got some ideas or thoughts of things that I might try, but honestly, the whole gym thing is just it's not my bag. It's just not something that I really have any desire to do. So walking is good. I have a recumbent bike, and I ride the recumbent bike. We do hope in the spring to get some bikes. We like to take our RV and go down to Alabama and camp and ride trails there is what we're planning on doing. So, I'm learning to get in some different kinds of exercise, but the whole daily exercise routine it's never been something that I've done. And so it's really hard at 58 to try to learn to do something new. But I can do just about anything. So over the last 5 weeks, I have been in what is called maintenance. I have a calorie limit, and you figure that based on your age, whether you're male or female, your weight, your height, your activity level. There are several different calculators out there that all pretty much figure, they work the same way. And what that will do is give you the number of calories that you need in order to maintain your weight. Now, I have done that. I used a calculator online if you want it. You can message me. You can, I'll probably link it in the description box down below. So if you don't know where that is, click where it says see more underneath the video. And that should open up a section that has the description of the video and any links that I put in. And I'll put a link into that calculator because I think that calculator has been very helpful for me for a couple of reasons. That particular one that I will link not only gives you your calorie limit, but it also gives you 3 different ones with the macros for your fat, your protein, and your carbs, based on whether you want low carb, moderate carb, or high carb. So if you are like a high intensity workout person, you need those carbohydrates for the energy for those workouts, then you might go for a higher carb. And then some people, I kind of stick in that moderate to low carb range. I am still, because of doing Optavia and being so low carbohydrate, well, it was around 100 grams of carbs, so it's not like keto low carb. But because my body got so used to the lower level of carbohydrates, I'm still very cautious about how many carbs, because I know how carbs affect me. And so I'm very careful about how many carbs that I have throughout the day. Stick below 200 grams of carbs in a day. So I'm like somewhere right in between 100 and 200 is where I kind of sit as far as carbs go. But I figured out my calorie range. Where I am right now, if I were to, the weight that I am right now is about where I was when I got married back in 1988. So I'm as small as I've been in a very long time. And not only that, but I have extra skin. So I have to kind of mentally compensate for that extra tissue that I'm carrying around. And I don't need the calories to support all of that extra tissue. So while I don't figure out the weight this way, I really kind of think I probably weigh about 10 pounds. If I were to get rid of all of that extra tissue, I would be about 10 pounds less than I am right now. It's kind of like a rough estimate, which means I weigh less than I weighed when I got married. I'm smaller than I was technically when I got married. And I don't need to support all of that extra tissue. So while my TEE, my total energy expenditure calorie level, has me almost at 1,800 calories a day, I don't eat that many calories. Matter of fact, I stay below 1,400 calories a day almost every day. I don't ever hit that 1,400. I'm anywhere between 1,200 calories and 1,400 calories is about what I'm eating every day. And in the last 5 weeks, I have dropped 3 pounds, but in the last week or so, I've kind of stayed right about the same weight. I may go up a pound and then down a pound, but I've kind of stayed right in this, and this is exactly where I want to stay. I'm below my goal weight, and that's kind of like my max. I never want to see that weight again, and I know how to get down below it. So that's kind of where I am and what I'm doing. Let me kind of tell you about my typical day. I'm still eating 6 times a day. I'm still eating every 2.5 hours. And I thrive on routine. I thrive on having a schedule and sticking to a schedule. And that works really well for me. So for me, I eat at 7, 9:30, 12, 2:30, 5, 7:30. Those are my times, and I eat at those times almost religiously. I am a little bit flexible. There are days where I will eat a little bit later. I'll shift things around a little bit. I do that on Sunday just to accommodate for church and traveling to and from church and figuring out how to eat like that. So Sundays are usually a little bit off days, but it works fine. If I'm gonna have to be somewhere or do something with somebody, I will also be a little bit flexible. But I'm typically up around 5 o'clock in the morning, which means I'm not eating for 2 hours. However, I get up, I have coffee, and I typically sit on the couch and watch the news, grade papers. I'm not active. I'm not up exercising. I'm not even like doing housework or anything. I just kind of get up and rest still on the couch, have coffee. I have 2 cups of coffee. My first cup is just a straight up cup of black coffee. My next cup has a scoop of collagen peptides. I like the Primal Kitchen unflavored. I think it's 11 grams of protein. It only has 40 grams of carbohydrates, has no calories, and it works really well for me. So I add that to my second cup of coffee. Then at about 7 o'clock in the morning, I will have a cup of Greek yogurt, one of the little containers, like Too Good. I like Too Good or Oikos 000. Oikos 000 I get from Costco, and that works really well. It comes in a 3 flavor pack: vanilla, strawberry, and mixed berry. But I will have a yogurt and a half to a cup of fruit. It just kind of depends on the day, how much I have. Typically it's going to be strawberries. Sometimes it's blueberries. So that's my very first, and I still call them fuelings. That's my very first fueling of the day, because I'm fueling my body, is going to be the yogurt and the fruit. So I'm getting some protein, I'm getting some carbs. When I make my yogurt in the morning, I also make my oatmeal, which is for fueling number 2. I just use a thermos. I'm now using just a half a cup of old-fashioned rolled oats, and then I fill my thermos with boiling hot water, and I let it sit. It's 150 calories for the oatmeal, and then I will add to that a half a cup of blueberries. Or I have also started buying apples. I peel and core the apples and I throw them in the Instant Pot, and I pressure cook them and then smash them up into basically applesauce, so unsweetened applesauce, and I'll do like a half a cup of that in the oatmeal. Is amazing, super flavorful. Sometimes I throw a little bit of cinnamon into the apples for a little extra flavor. But that is my second fueling, is going to be the oatmeal with either blueberries or the applesauce. And I do that at about 9:30. So I'm running around 200 calories for that fueling right there. My 12 o'clock fueling is kind of my lunch fueling, and it can consist of some kind of protein, and vegetables is typically what I'll do. So I might have a salad with some grilled chicken, or sometimes I will make a tuna salad or a chicken salad with canned tuna or canned chicken and a little bit of light mayonnaise and some celery, maybe a little bit of white onion. And I will do that on lettuce, or with cucumbers and cherry tomatoes, raw zucchini. But I do lots of vegetables at lunchtime with a good amount of protein. Sometimes I will have wasa crackers with that. As I said, I'm really careful about the carbs that I eat, and so I don't do wasa crackers every day. Rice cakes sometimes. That's another option that I have, that I do sometimes, but I don't do them a lot, because I just know mentally for me, staying away from a lot of carbohydrates is best for me. So that's typically what I do for my second fueling. Sometimes I will, or my third fueling, sometimes I will do some veggies and then like a cup of egg whites, and I'll do that and make like an egg white scramble, and put some salsa on top of that, and that's really tasty. Maybe some spinach and zucchini and mushrooms with the egg whites, and then sometimes I put a little sprinkling of like Fiesta Blend reduced fat cheese. I just am very careful about the calories and the fat and the carbs that I have at each meal. Speaking of that, I have an app on my phone. It's called Prosper, and it is spelled not the way you think it is. It is spelled Prospre. I will also put that in the description box down below. They have it for iPhones and Androids. And it is, I use the free version. I don't pay for the pro version. I don't need to plan my meals ahead of time. There's some features on there that I don't necessarily need. I'm happy just having a way to track what I'm eating each day, and it tells me how many fat, carbs, protein that I'm getting, and I can kind of keep track throughout the day. So I use that app to track my macros and my calories. And so I put all of my food in every day as I'm eating it. Sometimes in the morning I'll plan the day ahead and I'll just put it into the meals. You just can't plan a day ahead, so you can only plan for the day. So that's what I do. For fueling number 4, my afternoon fueling, is I went and I Googled 100 calorie and 200 calorie snacks. And so I stick somewhere in the 100 to 200 calorie range. And it might be some hummus and veggies. It might be an apple and almond butter. It might be, trying to think of what else I do. Cottage cheese and some pineapple is another thing that I like to do. So it's just some kind of protein source, and either vegetables or fruit is typically what I have. Sometimes I will do a rice cake with some almond butter on it or hummus on it. That's tasty as well. But that's typically where I fall. I try to stick to less than 200 calories. So I basically am having, I've got 2, 4, 600 calories or less than that, probably 500 calories in my fuelings 1, 2, and 4. Fueling number 3 is usually around 300 calories ish. It might be a little bit more, it might be a little bit less, but I'm at 800 calories right now, basically for the day. And then my dinner fueling is usually around 300 calories. It's going to be a lean protein source and veggies. Every once in a while I treat myself to, if we have guests over and I make dinner rolls, I might have half a roll. I might have a little bit of rice, like brown rice especially. I might have a little bit of that. So I really do, like I said, try to stay away from the carbs. But that meal is going to be like right around 300 calories, sometimes 400 calories. So I might be up to 1,200 calories here. It's going to be 11 to 1,200 calories. And then my last fueling is usually some kind of a sweet treat. So I've talked about making the bars. I really am going to post a video. I need to make the recipe a couple of times to make sure that I'm doing it right. But I've got a bar that has oatmeal and banana and some almond butter. And so those are really good. I also do the Kodiak waffle, where I will make the waffles, and basically the one waffle that I have is a half of a serving. So it's 110 calories for that. And I might put some light cream cheese on it, or Trader Joe's has an organic raspberry low sugar that's actually made with sugar. It's not made with sucralose. It's not made with monk fruit or stevia. I can't do any of those things. It's got to be real sugar, honey, or maple syrup, or I'm out. I just can't do any of those other sugars, whether they're natural or not. I can't do it. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the way it makes my body feel. So I avoid those. But that organic stuff from Trader Joe's is made with real sugar, and it's only like 25 calories for a tablespoon. So it's 135 calories for me to have a waffle with a tablespoon of jam on it. That makes it an amazing sweet treat, and delicious and satisfying. And that's kind of the way that I end my day at about 7:30, and I'm done. I still continue to drink a gallon of water a day. I have a 40-ounce cup that I drink 3 of those 40-ounce cups of water, plain water, throughout the day. Sometimes I have some seltzer. I also have coffee. I know that doesn't really count towards my water, but it still is fluid intake. So I drink more than a gallon of water a day, and I continue to do that. I will continue to do that. And so that's a typical day on maintenance for me. And as I've said, I've been able to maintain. I've even continued to lose a little bit more. I expect to kind of fluctuate a little bit, especially throughout this holiday season. And I fully intend to not deprive myself of tasting some of the things. We had Thanksgiving, and let me quickly tell you how that went. So I don't want to make this video too long, but for Thanksgiving, just to let you know how I did, that was during maintenance for me. And I determined there were things that I was making for people that I wanted to have. Last year, during Thanksgiving, I was on 5-in-1, and I did not have a single taste of anything that was not on the program last year. This year, I chose to have small amounts, like a small spoonful that probably equated to about 2 bites of everything on the table, except for, what did I not have? I didn't have any gravy, which I could have, but I just didn't have any gravy. But I had turkey, of course. I had a little bit of cornbread dressing, some mashed potatoes, a little macaroni and cheese, a little sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, which I made, which was the Optavia green bean casserole. So I had a nice portion of that. Roasted sweet potato, well, basically roasted root vegetables. So it was sweet potatoes, turnips, parsnips, and rutabagas, which I love root vegetables. So I had those. And then I made a pumpkin bread pudding, which I've posted the recipe to that. It was completely reduced fat. It was so good. Unbelievably tasty. I actually made the whole grain bread that went into it and did that in the crock pot. And so I actually had dessert with some whipped cream and had a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I didn't gain weight because I limited myself to just small little tastes. And I don't know how many calories I had that day. That part of it, I wasn't really able to equate because I didn't have complete servings, but I did the best that I could and was satisfied with just a little bit of everything. And so that's kind of my plan as we go into holidays, is not to deprive myself of having tastes of things. A bite of something is going to satisfy me in having the taste of something and knowing that I've tried it. I don't have to have a whole piece. I don't have to have a whole serving. And so that's the way I plan. If I eat mostly healthy things and, lean proteins and good vegetables, and then throw in some extra things every once in a while, I should be able to continue to maintain. So that's where I am. I'm going to continue to check in with you guys. I'm going to continue to post healthy recipes. If you have things that you want me to try, if you have questions, reach out to me. I know I haven't been great about responding lately. I just honestly needed a break. It was a very long road to lose this weight. It was a lot of work, but I have come on the other side of it, and I am ready to be a little bit more supportive. I wanted to give a little shout out to Kate. Kate, I'm praying for you. I love you. I wish that I lived closer. And so I don't know if you'll see this, but if you do, just know that I am praying for you and I love you. And to the rest of you knuckleheads out there, I am going to do an element. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it tomorrow. So I'm going to schedule that element, Lifebook element, whichever one we're on, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. But look for the link to Zoom on Facebook, on the Facebook groups, and we'll go ahead and do that tomorrow night, Tuesday night, December 12th. All right. So I will see you guys soon. And until I see you, please, you live in the light.